Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, May 18th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats. Today he has joined me. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Talk about that in just a moment. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you'd like. Show notes about all the things I'll be talking about will be on my blog, so if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I'll also include all the yarn store information. I work at a yarn store called The Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas. We currently have reduced hours. You can check out the website for more information or our social media. All of that will be in the show notes as well. So I have knitting to show you. Feel like it's not a lot of knitting, but I feel like I've been working on the same projects for the past several weeks, so I do apologize. But we'll get into it. I don't have Dalgona coffee this week. I just have regular coffee that is reheated from this morning because you do what you gotta do. So if you like to grab, I'm gonna be very distracted looking at Birdie in the little screen. If you like to go grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, excuse me, turn off my phone ringer while we record, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, or laundry to fold, or all of the above, or anything that I forgot to mention, and you come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, hello, little bourbon. Oh, that nose. Oh, that nose. So, everyone, normally I would be sitting on this chair, right? That's where I would be sitting. But Birdie is a very spoiled animal, and he was sound asleep when I came in to set up my podcast situation. Now he's woken up, but he was sound asleep, and I could not bring myself to move him because he was just too cute. So here I am on the floor. Here he is on the chair in his soft white blanket bed that he got placed in this morning because he was grumpy that we were trying to make the bed. Oh, Birdie. Hello. Oh. So he's really living the life right now. And I'm sitting on the floor because my cat needs to sit on the chair. Because that makes sense. In other words, Birdie's very spoiled. I have no issue with that. I'm fully aware. I fully accept it. The car is very loud. I'm trying to record. Can we please be quiet? So. He's just so cute. Are you going to be in the background today? Are you cleaning your leg? Or are you going to go back to sleep? So we have a guest appearance, I guess. So, I don't really know what to talk about this week. I feel like I have knitting to show you, but I just don't really feel like I'm in a lull kind of like being super inspired to talk about these things. I say that I am very inspired by these things that I'm working on, but it's just like in this moment, I don't really know what exactly to say that I haven't already said before. You know? Does that make sense? And that's just a fact of podcasting. It just happens. And I'm getting a lot of notifications on my phone. Okay. So, I had hoped to have some finished objects for you this week. Did that happen? No. It came very close. I tried very hard last night, but I was just really tired and wanted to read my book instead, and could have done both, but I didn't because I was tired. So that's okay. Life happens. I will for sure have finished objects next week. This is a test knit that I'm doing. This is a long asymmetrical. Of course I'm in the middle of a row. Am I doing anything weird on this row, or am I just plain knitting? I think I'm just plain knitting. Let's go ahead and finish. Yeah, I'm just knitting. This shawl is asymmetrical. It is, I think the pattern will have different weights available, so it's very similar to the Triad. I think it's called Triad. The pullover that I made recently that was in the bulky weight. This has multiple weights available in the pattern, so you're getting like 3 patterns in one, basically, if I remember correctly. I'm doing the DK worsted version. I'm knitting it on a 10.5. I love it. It's flying. It's all stash. Some of it is very old stash. Some of it is hand spun that I don't remember when I spun it. It's that old. But I am using it, which is also something on my to-do list for this year as a goal, was to knit with my hand spun, which I am currently doing that right now as we speak, but also it's in my Penguono, which is also very exciting, and I love that. Okay, we're getting to the end of this. So it's got some eyelets, it's got lots of colors, got some fun bits of lace that are not eyelets, like right there. I am so close. I literally like have 10 rows left and then I bind off. Like, I should have powered through last night, but I didn't because I was tired. My eyes were closing. So let me pull this up. Who designed it? Last week I had a brilliant idea of writing down all the information, sticking that information in the project bag, so I was always ready to go, especially when it came to test knits. I didn't do that. I'm sorry. I should have done that. But this is designed by Tiff Nealon of Tiff Nealon Hand Knits. This is going to be called the Perplexity Wrap. I think I had trouble saying that the first time last week as well. And so this is what it will look like in the end. I'm loving it. Super fun. So I think now I just have one more row in with this color, and then I finally join my last and final color for 9 rows and a bind off. This is all stash, various projects, things that I don't remember what they were in, things that got frogged that never became anything, things that were just random and I never used. Like this Madeline Tosh DK is gorgeous. I don't know why I never used it, but now I'm using it. And in fact, like I said last week, because all of this is DK worsted weight, it works very well into my Penguono. So I've thrown the yarn that I'm done with from the shawl into the Penguono bag, even though I'm close to being done with that as well, but can never have too many color options when it comes to Penguono or Stephen West for that matter. Or this shawl, really. It's 6 colors. You can have more or less of them if you so desire. Just make adjustments to your yardage accordingly. This is the hand spun that I'm currently working with, which I'm loving. Hello, can we show this? There we go. Again, I don't remember when I did this. I'm pretty sure this is Three Waters Farm. I could be completely wrong. It was forever ago. I also have a pair of fuzzy socks in here. Things you carry around in your big project bag around the house. So that's the first project. Next project is my Hedra Helix pullover. by Rosemary, the woolly one on Instagram. Goodness gracious, we are trying to record here. Can you please be quiet? This is important. We're talking about brioche. It's important. So I don't think I had worked, no, again, I don't remember where I was last time I showed this to you. I have something in my eye. Why does this always happen? I either like can't remember what I talk about or I have something in my eye. Or both in this case. I apologize. So, the back. I'm almost done with the back. I had hoped that I would have gotten the back done, but I got really excited about my Penguono and didn't keep to my schedule, like I talked about last week. Otherwise it would be done, or the body would be done anyway. So, we have the front, and we have the back. Still needs sleeves. It's great. I'm like maybe 4 repeats from being done with the back, and that's a total of 8 rows. So I really just need to get it done. I don't remember. The sleeves are interesting. I don't remember how exactly they're constructed or what the deal is. I also need to figure out where my, I do have size 8 12-inch circs. I might have 16 as well, depending on how many you cast on. So that's fun. I really need to work on that. It's not due until the end of June, but I still really need to work on it because I have a new test knit, everyone. Surprise! Are we surprised? No. No. Sorry, I didn't have very much to say about that one, but hopefully by next week, the shawl will be done. This will maybe have half a sleeve and a finished body. Let's say that. Goals. So, I have a new test knit that is not cast on yet. In fact, I still need to wind up some of my yarn. It's all stash again. So wonderful. I love that. I think that, I don't, what are we trying to say here? Let's have a little coffee break, shall we? I think there's something that I find great joy in, or just the fun of trying to make things work with what I have yarn-wise, especially when it comes to test knits. And if I can make it work with what I have and not need to get anything, that's just like, yes, I'm using my stash and I'm testing this really cute pattern and it's gonna be so happy and I love it. And this is one of those times. It does help though when the project for certain sizes only requires 1 skein of each color, if you don't mind cropped items. So this is designed by Skein Yarn. So they have beautiful, beautiful yarns, like stunning. I have 1 skein of theirs that I got forever ago. Haven't used because it seems very special. But I didn't realize how much that she designed, and I guess I just put 2 and 2 together because there are some other patterns that she's released recently that I've been seeing on Instagram, and it's just every single time it's like, oh, I need to make that and I need to make it now. And then when I saw this test knit pop up, it was like, ooh, yes, summer top for sure. So I'll be test knitting this. It is called the Duet Top. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. It's a little better. The top is pink on this one. So yeah, very simple. A very high crew boat neck almost, cropped, color blocked, drop sleeves. 2 skeins, one of each color, for maybe the first 3 sizes. And I will be doing something very bright and very bold. I did have an option for a more subdued, like very soft look, which I loved, but also this is gonna be a summer top and I really just want it to be fun and I really want it to be bright and I want it to be happy. So I'm doing this. And this is not gonna show up at all. This is hedgehog fibers and I'm not sure of the colorway. I don't know. But this is Madeline Tosh sock in the Betty Draper blues. I've had this skein for mid-high school, since mid-high school, early high school, maybe before. No, early high school, I think. Deep stash, old stash. So I'm very excited. It'll go like this, though the yellow will be on top. Flip it around, make it look better. There we go. So, kind of like that. This is a very accurate representation of what it's going to look like in the end. Not exactly, but that's okay. You get the idea. Color-wise, this is how it's going to look, and I'm very excited. So I need to wind up this. I need to pull out some needles. Knit on a size 6, I believe. So that's exciting. I'm very excited. I know I do have some 6s available, but also, nice segue into the other project that I have been working on, and I might be in the middle of a row. Am I in the middle? Yeah. Of course I'm in the middle of a row, but this is a lace row. This is not a knitting row. My powder and dust shawl. I did knit at least 6 rows. I didn't increase by an increment of 2, so that's okay. We do what we can do. I did add the 3rd color. It looks amazing. It doesn't look, it looks like so much. You can't really tell. But this is a triangular shawl with some lace, all garter stitched by Vera Valimaki. This is Life in the Long Grass. I have Sugar Plum Circus. And then my last color, which is this, is Peepaloo Fields yarn. And I don't believe they're dying anymore, but oh well. But I did add that in, so I think I'm on my 2nd stripe of the dark. You can see there. I'm loving it so much. I only have 1 flower left. You're probably like, that doesn't make any sense. But the last lace section, there are 5 rows of flowers, and I have done 4 of them so far. So I just have 1 more row of flowers. The flowers look like this. It's a little bit easier to see them there. And then it'll end in a big garter stitch border in the darkest color. So I've just been making slight progress with this every so often. These are size 6s. I might power through. I don't think that would be real rough. I don't think I should do that. That might take too long. Because I'm not 100% sure when exactly the duet tee needs to be done by. Need to find that out. I'm sure it was in an email somewhere and I just happened to forget. So that needs to happen. I do have 6s available, so it's not like I have to get the shawl done in order to work on the tee. So my goal is I would love to finish the wrap, the perplexity wrap first, then finish the body of the brioche pullover, cast on the duet, finish my Penguono. Because the Penguono is very small, very portable. It's the exact opposite of that. It is so big. So I have all my yarn living in this bag. So this is my Penguono bag. But oh my goodness, everyone, I love this Penguono so much. It, there is a high-pitched noise going off somewhere, and I don't know what it is. It has stopped. Okay, we can continue now. I do apologize. It's like, what is that noise? I think it was outside somewhere. Anyway, Penguono by Stephen West. It is, I just don't know. It's so much fun. It's full of memories because of each yarn that I'm using has some kind of memory attached to it. Whether it be old, whether it be recent, whether it be a project, the memories with that project. Was it yarn that I dyed? Yarn that I was given? Yarn from Christmas? Yarn from whatever? I have yarn in here from my study abroad, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so it's just a huge combination of memories and feel-good times, but also, I mean, there's also yarns in here that I was working on during not-so-great times, and I remember that, but then I can also be like, ooh, but look, I made something beautiful with this thing that I may have sad memories with. I don't know, I may not. I don't know. And, but I have created something beautiful, and at this point, I would have had 2 projects, because all this stuff has been in some other projects. Some other project. Grammar. I'm so sorry. What? Just like skipping words, skipping letters, skipping sounds. I'm so sorry. Grammar. Words. So, I am almost done with sleeve number 1. At this point. It's going to be really hard to show you, but this, you can kind of tell that this is a sleeve. This is the shoulder seam thing up at the top. We have my back with the welts. We have my front that I've been working on. I honestly, again, I don't remember where I was when I showed this to you last, but that's okay. Because, you know, life happens. I have slept since then. I've been busy. Here's the armhole for the next one. I am undecided about what yarn I want to use for the second sleeve, but I'm really enjoying how this is turning out. It's just, it's exactly what I wanted, or had envisioned, I guess. It's just, ooh, so soft. Noro, because why not? Got lots of Noro, or not lots of it, but I do have some Noro in here. I will be adding more Noro. Also, all my ends are woven in. Because I wove them in as I went, and I don't have to weave them in. I may have to trim them, except I guess for my cast on. No, my cast on end is woven in. My cast off edge will technically need to be woven in. But that's okay. In the scheme of things, the few cast off ends that will need to be woven in will be nothing compared to had I left it all alone. I just love this so much. It's just, Stephen West is so brilliant. He has created such fun patterns. This doesn't look like anything. I can't wait to wear this. I have tried it on, and in the current state that it is, I didn't want to take it off. So that speaks very highly of what I will feel like when it is done, and how I won't want to take it off. I have also attached the front and the back on the other side together with a Scooby, because like as if I was seaming it, so no, you can't see it very well, but like I did the mattress stitch basically with the Scooby, so I can sew it together so it can stay together and I can try it on, and also I don't get things confused and it's a little bit more manageable. I'm loving it so much. The sleeve is very big. The sleeve ended up being much bigger than I thought it was going to be, so it's taking more time. But once I understood what I was doing, the whole sleeve and connecting this like shoulder piece, I was very confused. Very confused. But I managed to do it while having a hangout with some friends. I was very proud of myself. Oh, this is funny. I forgot about this. Also kind of embarrassing. Knitter confession here. So the way that this is connected, you knit this piece separately. It's just a little square garter stitch, and then you seam it to the back and the front. No big deal. Easy peasy. And you have live stitches available to pick up for the sleeve, all that jazz. It's very brilliant on how it's laid out and constructed. I, for some reason, like, could not figure out how to orient this little piece so like the live stitches would be here and like I could seam it correctly. I did it backwards twice. Except one time, the first time, I only did half of it and I realized it was backwards. The second time I did it the whole way, both sides. And I was like, the seams are on the outside. What did I do? Will I care? Will I care? And then it became a debate of like, will it bother me if my seams are on the outside? And then I looked at the inside, which is what this looked like and how neat and clean it looked, and I was like, oh, I really need to take this out. I don't want to, but I need to. Because I was not paying attention, and nor did I remember in the moment that to do mattress stitch or whatever, you have to do it on the wrong side in order to get it to look nice. That was a dumb mistake. It wasted a lot of time, but that's okay. I learned things, and now I know for the other side, and I will do it much faster. I will also say that if you are going to be knitting a Penguono, oh goodness, if you're knitting a Penguono, will be knitting in a Penguono, are interested in knitting one, please do. But also, the sides, the fronts, and I'm hoping with the sleeve as well, that it's very similar to Sleeve Island or not second sock syndrome, excuse me. Like, the second one always goes faster. The second front went significantly faster than the first one. And I know that's because I knew what I was doing. I had a better color plan, or like I knew what I was doing. And so all I had to really play around with was the colors, opposed to also trying to figure out, I have mohair everywhere and my nose is itchy. So once this first sleeve is done, I think the second sleeve will go much faster because I am much more aware of what is going on, and I will not make the same mistake seaming these items together because it's a big no-no. I shouldn't have made that mistake to begin with, but I did. But that's okay. You know what? You learn. If I didn't make mistakes like that, then I wouldn't have funny stories to tell on the podcast, you know? So it's really a good thing that this positive thoughts, you know? You've got to come up with content. Though I would prefer to not make those mistakes, but, you know, at least I can get a funny story out of it because it is funny. So yeah, I'm just plugging along, doing my sleeve. Loving it. I love the welts. They're so much fun. I love how dark and dramatic these are. Oh, I just love it. This is the Penguono of spirit colors for sure. And I love that. It's bringing me much happiness. I will say though that the sleeve I had intended to be the same color mixture if you will. So I wasn't going to be changing colors at all during the sleeve. That being said, the sleeve is very boring for me because I'm not changing color. But that's okay. You know what? It'll be fine. I know it's almost done. I'm also going to be using up almost this entire little bit. I hope I have enough. I should have enough because I'm almost done with my repeats, I think. Oh my goodness, this is a tangled mess. So like I have used up a lot of stash, which is really awesome. I did that at the beginning with the back piece. I started off with a lot of like little bits and pieces, and I just knit on those until they ran out because there was so little of them. And because of that, I was able to use up a lot of yarn. Okay, so that's now separated. What is this? Oh, this is the yarn I had separated for the garter stitch bit. And it's starting to do a fun little mess. So let's untangle this here because this is going to bother me until it gets untangled. I'm really loving it. Will I make another one? For sure. I really like the small shruggy versions. If you have seen any Penguonos or follow the Penguono hashtag, which I would highly recommend if you're thinking about making one because it is V inspirational. Where is all this yarn coming from? There are so many ends. But there are some that I've seen that are like the small, which is significantly smaller, hence the name small. And I think there's some adjustments that people have made, probably with needle size as well, to make it shorter. So, because this currently I think hangs down to like the maybe 6 inches past my hip, so probably like just below my butt a little bit, I think. So it's pretty long. But I knew that, and that's what I wanted this first time. And I think it would be fun to have a lighter weight one or a smaller one to have to wear, because one Penguono is not enough. You know, you must make multiple Penguonos. There's also the adorable Penguino for little kids, and it's like, oh my goodness, when we have kids, all the kids will have Penguinos for sure because I love them so much. So that's exciting. Lots of Penguono plans. No Penguino plans soon, but lots of Penguono plans for sure. Very exciting. So that, is that all that I've been working on? I don't know. Let's take a mental checklist moment. So baking wise, what have I done? Last week I made just a regular sourdough loaf. I currently have bagel dough being prepped, which is very exciting, because just love bagels. Let's see, did I make anything besides that? I don't think I did. We did go to Costco for some items that are important, because, you know, Costco, you need things like chocolate chips and garlic powder, very important. But in the bakery, the Costco chocolate cake is one of the best chocolate cakes ever. It's also not very expensive. It's also massive. And so we picked up one of those, and so I haven't really needed to make a dessert. Not that we need that, but it's just fun, and I find that therapeutic and calming. So we have a chocolate cake from Costco so I hadn't needed to have made grammar again. because we had the chocolate cake, I did not need to make a dessert, or we were covered in the dessert area. So, so that was very fun. We've definitely been enjoying that. Reading. I feel like my reading is kind of slowed down a little bit. I finished a bunch, finished a bunch of books at the beginning of the month. Not as many in the middle of the month, but I'm hoping it'll pick back up. So, yes. But other than that, everything's pretty quiet. I don't think I've done anything else or anything like that that needs discussion. So I guess that is all that I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I really appreciate you hanging out with me and listening to me mess up words and sounds and letters. I'm just too excited about my Penguono, you know. I'm just really excited about it. So if you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or Ravelry, I'm most active on Instagram. There's that. Show notes, yarn store information, all that will be on my blog, so which you can find down below if you're on YouTube, or if you're already on my blog, everything is already there. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I pretty much explained my crafty plans. I want to finish things, I want to make progress, and I want to cast on. But mainly finish. I think that is like the top thing right now, because I know that'll make me feel good. And I'm so close. I am so close. So if you are just kind of waiting on trying to finish things, if you just got a couple rows left, just do it. It's so close to being done, and when you finish it, it'll feel so good. I totally understand putting off knitting those last couple rows though, because that's what I did last night. That's pretty much what I've done the last half of last week. So, you know what happens. It's okay. But when it's done, you will feel so good. I know that. For sure. So, yes. Is there anything else I need to say? I don't think so. So with that, the sleeping cat and I, he has been very quiet all episode, but I'm glad that he's been a podcast host with me. He's just so sleepy. He just loves his little spot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Maybe with a cat, maybe not with the cat. I don't know. But either way, I will see you guys next week. Bye.